Hello and welcome to the Business of Meeting podcast. I'm your host, Eric Rozenberg. Over the years, I've had the privilege of helping businesses in the meetings and event industry grow and succeed. And I'm excited to share that experience with you. If you feel alone and overwhelmed, and if you're looking to take your business to the next level, improve your strategy and sales, and connect with like-minded professionals, you are in the right place. I invite you to visit eventbusinessformula.com and join our community of event business owners dedicated to exponential growth. Now, let's dive into today's episode. Hello, and welcome to a new episode of the Business of Meeting podcast. Today, I want to speak about something that happened recently to me when I was speaking with one of the person we're coaching. And she was telling me, I don't want to grow because I like the life I've built for myself and I enjoy working with a handful of clients I have. And I thought about it. And then my answer to her was, well, actually, you going from one project to another, you don't have much time for yourself. You kind of stress. And I believe that the more you're going to grow, the more you'll be able to delegate and really focus your energy and your time on what matters for you and what you like. So I've heard that many times from people that I don't want necessarily to grow. And it's fine. I mean, not everybody wants to build the next unicorn and a company worth $1 billion. But quite frankly, there's the other extreme, which is extinguishing fires all the time. And that to me is not a life that in the long term, it is not sustainable. It is not something that you can pursue for life. And there comes a moment where you're getting burnt out. So I just want to offer to you, not even the idea, but the suggestions that you should delegate most of the things that you are doing that could be delegated and focus really on what matters the most to you and what matters the most for your company. And I would offer that what matters to you for the company is you representing your company, you representing your brand, you being in touch with your prospect, with your clients, and making sure you're maintaining that relationship. And that takes time, obviously. Now, when it comes to delegation, I would say that if you can delegate to someone and that someone would do the task like 80% as you would do, it's great. It's good enough. Clients will be happy. You might be the one who's not fully happy, and I know the feeling because no one will ever act, work, and deliver exactly the same way you do. But the most important is really what the clients are thinking. If the customers are happy, then everybody should be happy. And that reminds me the first 2 years when I started my first business, my corporate events business. I had two major clients, and my thought was, it's my business, it's my brand, nobody does it better. I am not gonna let anyone touch my client. If they do, the client's gonna go away, which of course is total BS. And only after 2 years and almost running into burnout that I decided to hire project manager. And guess what? The first weekend when we had two projects and I was at home, I was biting my nails, but nothing wrong happened. The clients were very happy. I was in touch with my team one or twice during the weekend and everything was fine. And that's when I really started systematically put system in place and making sure that I was not the one who was on every project, but I was focusing on what matters for the client and that I would be there probably at the last evening if there was an incentive trip or a program, because you're talking about the next year, but really focusing on sales and representation. And so there's three things for me that you could be doing for yourself in that framework. The first one is to define your long-term vision. Without the long-term vision, there is no direction, there is no decision being made whether this is something that you should be pursuing or not. So having this image of what is your life in the long term, in 10 years, it's very important. And there's a process to it, which we can talk about another time if you're interested. But the point is, from the moment you've defined that long-term vision and then you know where you're going, everything you're going to be doing should be somehow moving the needle in that direction. So that's the first thing, is the long-term vision. The second thing really, it's your mindset. It is difficult to be an entrepreneur. It is not a straight line from beginning until you might even someday sell your company. It's a roller coaster. And quite frankly, it's the kind of stress that it's not for everyone. And I would even add that being an entrepreneur in the meetings and event industry is even more stressing because of the number of factors that come into play that we cannot control. We cannot control a weather disaster. We cannot control a strike. We cannot control all those different elements that will impact what we're doing. So there's the stress, there's a roller coaster, and this is something that you should be ready to face and also be prepared to manage. And the stress that you're going to have and the doubts that you're going to have, and trust me, you're going to have stress and you're going to have doubts, but there's different elements that you could do to fight that. It's really having the mindset of being an entrepreneur, but also calming yourself, surrounding yourself with the right people, surrounding yourself with your personal board, with a coach, with friends that you can talk to, and all those tools about wellness, about meditation, about journaling. Those are different tools that exist. And that is something that you should be ready to do, especially if you're coming from a large organization where you had hundreds of people working for you, and now you are starting your business. You have in the morning an appointment with the CEO of a client company, and in the afternoon, you're at Costco because there's no more soap in the bathroom. So that's also part of life, of being an entrepreneur and starting a business. But even if you have developed a business and even if you have 20, 30 employees, trust me, the stress you're going to have is something that you have to learn to manage. Somehow it's exciting, but it can be also challenging. So the first thing is having your long-term vision. The second thing is having the mindset of understanding why you're doing that and continuing and making sure that you're staying focused on the long-term goal. And last but certainly not least, from the moment that you have your long-term vision, from the moment that you're ready to take on the roller coaster and have the right mindset and keep the right mindset, the third thing really is consistency. Life is happening. Rome wasn't built in one day. And so it's extremely important that not only you remain focused, but you do a little bit every day. My dad always told me when I was a kid, a little bit every day, and I hated that sentence. And guess what? He was right. It's a little bit every day. It's the consistency of doing the effort every day and making sure that by doing those efforts every day, you're going to impact the long-term results and the growth of your company. The perfect example I have is when you look at the water and the rock, at the end of the day, one drop and one drop and one drop finally breaks the rock. And that's what you should be doing. That's what I'm wishing for you. Having the long-term vision, getting the right mindset, and having the consistency of doing the work every day. And if we at Even Business Formula can help you in any way, please reach out, enjoy the journey, and I look forward to seeing you at the next industry conference. Thank you. Thank you for tuning in to the Business of Meeting podcast. I hope you found today's episode valuable. If you enjoyed the show, the most important thing you can do is leave a review and share it with your colleagues. It really helps spread the word. I truly appreciate your support. And if you're ready to take your business to the next level, don't forget to visit eventbusinessformula.com to learn more about how we are helping even business owners like you. Thanks again for listening, and I'll see you next time.